Is menopause adding to your emotional roller coaster during the holidays? Well, take another perspective. It could actually be a spiritual blessing. Stay with us and find out why. Welcome back to Second Act TV. So happy to have Paige Valdiserri with us again today. Paige, as you may know by now, is a traumatic stress and integrative healing consultant who has helped thousands of people through major life transitions. Paige, welcome back to the program.
Oh, I'm glad to be back. I love being here.
Well, you have a very, very interesting view on menopause that I have not heard, and I thought I heard it all. Tell us, there's a spiritual side to menopause?
Well, from my lens and from working with women and going through menopause myself, so when we go see our doctors, we are always told here's the medical components of it, here's the physiological changes of it, but no one ever tells us what's underneath these types of changes. So for us as women, there is an emotional component to it and there is a spiritual component to it. So when we're having lots of hot flashes or we're on our emotional roller coaster, at this time in our life, we have held in so much that maybe we didn't have a chance to pay attention to because we were being career women, mothers, combination, whatever it might be, caregivers. As women, we're always about taking care and nurturing others. By the time we get to be midlife, all the things that we didn't get a chance to really honor and deal with in the first part of our life is now coming up now through all of these physiological changes and all these problems that we're having within our bodies. So it's really about what does each hot flash tell us? What do our emotions tell us that we haven't dealt with? And from a spiritual component, in many tribes, villages, women, when they reach 50, they become ones with the most wisdom. Now, let me just take, for example, let's look at the mammal world. Orcas in the ocean, in their tribe, or whatever you want to call them, when the female becomes 50, that orca whale leads everybody. In different tribes, in different cultures, that woman leads everybody because of the wisdom that they have. So from a spiritual perspective, if we think about it, women gain all of this wisdom, but we're not honored for gaining it. And we're not given the time to allow ourselves, what are these emotions causing me? What do I have to look back at to connect to? And from a spiritual perspective, what am I doing here? And how does that connect to what's my purpose? What's my bigger purpose, the second half of life that connects to really not only healing myself, but healing parts of the world as well. So does that make sense?
Well, it does. It makes sense. Give me an example. I had a hot flash last night. I was anxious. What did that mean? How do I figure out what that meant?
Well, there is a physiological component, so there's always that medical component of the hot flashes, right? So you have to always look at the medical side. But on the other side, take a look at what's going on in your life right now. And that means really going within and going within the organs, going to where the hot flash lived. What is that fire telling you that maybe you've missed about anger, fear, sadness? What have you not addressed or dealt with in prior years that's starting to show themes now that maybe you're afraid to embrace, maybe you're afraid to confront, maybe you're afraid not to deal with? So for women, again, physiological components of hot flashes, but there's always other stories behind why does that keep coming up? What am I supposed to look at in my life now that maybe I didn't? And those patterns and themes are coming stronger and hotter to get my attention.
Oh, that's very interesting. Is there a specific way to capture that? Like how would I take that and put it to work in my life?
So, boy, that's for like a whole workshop that I give, but putting it down very, yes. So we could do a workshop and invite people on that, but right now, just in a very simple way, if you can, grasp this, sometimes people have to see this happening. When you're having your hot flash, we know where it is and how it feels. You bring your awareness to that hot flash and you actually ask the hot flash, what's the story that you have for me? Because what people don't realize is we think our story is developed in our brain. The body holds our story. The body has held every single story of this lifetime to when we were in the embryo to right now in midlife. We ignore the story, we stay up here, or we disconnect, and we don't allow the organs, the fluids, the musculoskeletal system to tell us the story that they've held for us so humbly and lovingly until we get to a physical type of situation or menopause where it says, you know what, I've been holding this so long, I'm going to get your attention until you can listen to what I have to tell you.
Oh, I love it. This is so interesting. Obviously, we don't have time, like you said, to go into all the details. We will link to your information so you can read more about this, learn more about Paige, learn about her workshops, her books, and get this information that is just a whole different way of looking at menopause and the aging process and living the life you always wanted. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you in another segment soon. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked the information you saw today, do me a big favor. Please hit the subscribe button that's right up here. Really appreciate your support. See you next time.